I know I look like I just woke up. That's because 43 minutes ago I just did wake up. So I'm still working on waking up. I'm not quite bright-eyed and bushy-tailed yet. Upon waking up, y'all, I had so many notifications. I guess I triggered somebody with my libtard last night. Talk. Let me tell you. Okay. Oh, today's gonna be fun. You guys are gonna have a great laugh. Yeah, since I've been sick, I've been starting every morning with a glass of water when I wake up, just to settle my stomach before I have a coffee. I thought it would be smart because I was having really bad stomach aches with this stomach flu, so I picked up a healthy habit by accident. Every day I just don't want to have a coffee in the morning. I want a cup of water, room temperature. So that's what I've been doing. My body's been feeling better because of it.
All right, let me wash my face, get my glasses on, and I'll be back to show you this nonsense. All right, y'all, this is what I woke up to. I had 11 notifications. 11, okay? Usually I have like one or two when I first wake up, never 11. So I must have done something last night when those liberals came to listen to my stories. They must have got real mad with me calling them libtards. And then all of a sudden they's in here on something that happened a whole day ago, commenting and saying things at me. Now, I addressed every single comment that was addressed to me, okay? It's not like I didn't respond to any of them. I responded. I did not react, I responded. So here is the hilariousness of what happened to me when I first woke up this morning. Sorry. You know, I have a whole bunch of yawns. So this first one is Brianna and Dawn, okay? So they like to hit in packs to think that if they overwhelm me, I have nothing to say, okay? This is a tactic that they've used many, many times, and I'm sure you guys are aware of this tactic of coming in swarms and repeatedly attacking over and over and over again in packs in hopes that you get overwhelmed and you just stop. Well, no, I have learned over the years to step back and address one at a time based off of what's being said without putting my emotions into it, because they are already reacting. I'm not going to react. You know what I mean? So they're already reacting. This is their reaction, okay? Then I respond with logic, as usual. You guys will see. So the first one I did was Brianna, okay? Brianna. I am not lying. God's ways are perfect, and he knows what women need. They need to be home. That's all I said to her, because she didn't say much, so there's no point in addressing more than what she said. I just addressed what she said. So unless she comes back and says something else, then I'll address that. But the thing is, I'm gauging to see what they're expecting. I'm gauging their response, and I'm gauging to see what they're after. Like, are they trying to argue? Are they trying to like belittle me? Are they trying to insult me? What are they doing? So I want to get their intentions. So that's why I respond certain times I respond just with bare minimums, just to see and gauge, because there's going to be multiple people, right? So I got to engage with multiple people. So I got to gauge where they're at and what they're expecting. Then I started with Dawn. So Dawn was next. I said, well, I'm considered low income because my husband makes less than $55,000 a year. And we manage because I'm not a dumb woman. I'm resourceful and I know how to budget. Even though we are poor, I make foods at home from scratch. Those foods make the family seem like we are not poor. I thrift for everything except shoes and underwear. I go to the food bank when it's really bad, and my church helps me every couple of months with gift cards to grocery stores. So your assertion that a mother can't is just that, your assertion. It's not reality. I teach women all the time how to properly manage their budgets, how to make sure all bills are paid and there's enough food for everyone. I teach practical skills that have been lost in our hyper materialistic world. Now, when women say it's impossible on one income, I hear I can't give up my Starbucks or my takeout foods, or my time with the girls at a restaurant drinking, or my date nights at the movies. I hear all the excuses of what you don't need and what you won't give up. Then I started to address the Therese. She made the very broad statement that only married couples are in domestic abuses. No. No. And so I already done this. I've already been over this. Okay, it was like 4 years ago, I did a whole entire series on feminism and how it ruined the family. And one of them was the distinction between married people staying together and single parents, and what that does to children, and why single parents become single parents because of the mother never married the father of the child. And so they were just living together. There is abuse happening from the living arrangement, and then the guy leaves. And in other cases, it's the woman who's abusing the man, and then the woman takes the child and literally doesn't let the male see his children, even though he wants to, and they fight for years in court. This is called common law partnership, and common law partnership is not marriage, and that is higher in domestic abuse cases, because there's no real connection between the couple. You know what I mean? Other than maybe a child. So I hit that with a freaking hammer right over the head, and I knocked that one down, because that's a lie. I did this whole entire blog series about this fallacy that feminists lie about. Now this guy, he said this stupid thing about the Bible. So I decided, well, okay, you want to talk about the Bible? Let's talk about reality. Humans are wicked in their hearts. It's telling a story of the sinfulness of our sinfulness and our road to redemption. Why wouldn't I be okay with it? Are you okay with movies about grown women with a child in their mind being raped over and over again on videotape and then getting a Grammy for that movie? Are you okay with comedians joking about molesting infants and children? Are you okay with Joe Biden sniffing little girls and groping them on national TV? Oh, don't worry, I'm not done. There's quite a bit more. You know, like I could have went on and on and on about the music industry and I could have went on and on and on, but I didn't. I said, are you okay with the many offenses portrayed in TV shows like Euphoria? How about the hypersexualization of our youth and children? Are you okay with that? And then I had some separate comments from two other people, so I addressed those as well. Robin is next. I'm going to address Robin. Keep your fictional, nasty, pedophilic, murdering God to yourself. So just watch what I say to this person, because I think it's hilarious that they don't even realize where they are at. They're on a forum for believers and Christians. I am keeping it to myself. This is my space. You know what I mean? And what are you talking about? You came here, sir. You know, like... So I say, I am. This is our space. Why are you here? And why do you come here just to say that boring, tired old line? Do you realize it hasn't worked on anyone? Because when you sit down and read the Bible, you see how wrong everyone truly was about it. It's a beautiful book filled with a father's love for his creation, and all he wants is to set them free from their own depravity. And that's the truth. That's what it's about. We are depraved human beings because of the fall of man, because of Eve's sinful pride. And ever since then, we've been trying to climb out of this pit. And God made a ladder for us. But some of us don't trust the ladder. So we stay in the pit while some of us climb up the ladder, and we're working our way to getting out of the pit, you know? We're on our way out. While they're still stuck in the bottom, scared to touch the ladder. Anyway, so then Brianna came back in a separate comment and said, Christians only quote what is convenient to them. Also, I thought the Old Testament wasn't relevant. I said, lol, you obviously don't know Christianity. We quote the whole Bible because it is all relevant. And that is true, because there is not one part of the Bible that doesn't reveal Christ in some way. Every single part of the Bible is revealing to us the purpose and the plan that God had from the beginning. From when Eve ate the fruit until Jesus died on the cross, it was all foretold, and it was all a direct sequence of events leading to our eventual redemption. You know what I mean? So it's all relevant. And every single part of the Bible gives you wisdom and a teaching that you can use in your practical life of every single day. It is a living example of how we should be living as Christians. Why wouldn't I want to talk about that? And then this guy came back and he said, the whataboutisms is strong with you. I said, lol, you just did that in your first comment to me. How is that any different? So I'm basically saying, dude, you just literally came here with the same thing. Like, are you okay with this in the Bible? So what's the difference? Like, hypocrite? You're a hypocrite, obviously, right? So this is my morning so far. As soon as I woke up, this is what I came online to. But I'm now going to go spend time with the Lord before I even give you these videos. So I'm going to go pray. I'm going to go spend time with the Lord. And then I'll upload these to Instagram for you to enjoy. And then I got to get dressed and I got to get going. Later for now. Me and my baby is on a date alone because the boys are at their training for altar server. So we had some time to come to the dollar store and sit in Timmy's until our next bus comes. 20 minutes. So I'm just gonna enjoy my white hot chocolate and he's gonna eat and drink and then we're gonna go home. I got the boys a muffin each, so I didn't forget them. See you when I get home. So we're home. I got a new tripod because mine broke, as you guys remember. So this one's way better. It came from the dollar store and it's way better. It can stand up so that I can post on Instagram without the landscape. It'll do upright. And it's really, really heavy duty. Wow. I couldn't believe it. It's crazy how much stuff they have at the dollar store that's way better now. So many things. I'm also going to be crocheting some keychains because I got some keychain things. I'm real excited about that. You guys could just imagine how excited I am about that because I love crocheting. So yeah. It's been a while since I crocheted a keychain and I really, really wanted to. So I is. And then the next thing I want to do is get the earring things and then crochet earrings for myself. Yeah. Instead of buying earrings, I want to make my own. Yeah. I have plans, y'all. I have to stay dressed though because we have to go to family confession. We gotta be there by 4:15 and it's almost 2 o'clock, so that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I might as well just stay dressed for now. Walk up there, do our family confession, come back, then get undressed. Anyway, you want to see what else happened? Actually, I'll wait till it's a little more because I'm pretty sure they'll come back and comment some more nonsense. I'll gather some actual truth, just some truth bombs, okay? So I'm going to go get those truth bombs now. I'll be back. All right, so they came back, and they decided to call me a liar. Trying to provoke me to anger. Like I didn't do all this research 3 years ago for my blog series that I posted everywhere. And if anybody's been following me for the last 5 years, they know that this is true. That I spent a whole 3-4 months making blog series exposing feminism and all their lies. So I went over a great extensive amount of research. I researched so much that it took me 8 hours to write my blog every single Tuesday and Thursday because I put a whole lot of research into it. It wasn't like just me typing my opinion. I did research. And you're about to see that research reposted in here in a moment. I just wanted to let you guys see these stupid comments first from these ignoramuses who don't even understand reality. They live in a fantasy world, delusion, and they are the ones that are part of a cult. Have you ever noticed how they seem like they're cultish, right? Like, you have to have a certain color hair, you have to have a certain amount of piercings and tattoos, you have to look like you're not even human. You know what I mean? Like, these people are cultish. And then they're saying that I'm in a cult? Please, I'm set free from all that. I'm set free, and I'm thanking Jesus every single day. Thank you, Jesus, for saving me from that horrific downfall that would have happened to me in the depravity and reprobation of these people. Lord have mercy. Anyway, I just wanted you to see how they called me a liar, and then what I said. I am also going to post the facts once I get another response, because I'm pretty sure that they're going to try to use some kind of fake liberal crap to say, oh, look, this is what I found on the internet. Okay, cool. This is what I found from a government website. And it's the truth. Like, you want to hear the truth of the matter? Okay? We're going to get into it, and you're going to see soon exactly what I'm about to say. All of domestic violence cases happen in relationships that are not spousal. 35% of domestic violence is in intimate relationships that are not spousal. 11% are in a spousal relationship, but that's broken into two categories: current spousal relationship and former spousal relationship. So that 11% gets broken up into 1.8 for the current spousal relationship. That's about 1.8% of the time they're currently married when the violence happens. And then the other 8 point something percent happens in former spousal relationships. And you're going to see how significantly higher it is in a former relationship versus a current relationship. And this goes for both spousal and intimate. So former intimate relationships are higher risk for violence against a woman than a former spousal relationship. And that's insane to me. Like, what? I was looking at these news statistics, right? So right here you can see it says intimate partner. That means that you're not married, okay? This is just an intimate partner. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you guys, the liberals, call themselves in a relationship these days. I don't know. Anyway, 44% of women and girls who have been in an intimate partner relationship have ever been. So you see this? Meaning past tense. These are former relationships, okay? This is where the violence comes in. Former, which is what I was saying. In the comment section, I was simply stating the facts that most of the violence happens between unmarried couples. Because of whatever reason, there's something going on between them, I don't know. Child disputes or whatever. Anyway, so 11% of all victims of police-reported violence were victimized by a current or former spouse. So, and then it tells you what they consider violence. Okay, so spousal violence can include pushing, grabbing, shoving, threatening to hit, throwing something, beating, choking, or sexual assault. So that's like the variation of the 11%. But like I said, it's broken up between 1 point something for the current spousal relationship, and then the 8 point something for the former spousal relationship, which you'll see in a moment. It breaks it down the 11%, okay? And I just spent literally only like 20 minutes on the internet and I found this information again. It was simple. Like, I don't know why these people are so dumb they can't just go and actually do the research. Lord have mercy. All right, so this is common law partnership, 3.5% right there, see? And then preceding the years of 2019, it went down to 7.5 in the last 20 years. So 54% decrease between 2009 and 2019 between spousal violence, remained unchanged in the territories, around 10.2%, right? And this again is broken up between former and current, okay? So you have to remember that that number is former and current, and you'll see the difference in a moment. But I wanted to show that this was mostly, it's mostly significant between, common law partnership, not like spousal relationships, because it's less likely when you're married, like less likely, okay? Not all spousal abuse reaches the criminal threshold. So like we were talking about, I showed you what they consider domestic violence: pushing, shoving, threatening, slapping, punching, beating, these kinds of things. But most of them don't go over the threshold of criminal. I would suggest that that would probably be the pushing and the threatening to hit and not actually hitting, or throwing something and it doesn't quite hit the person. Those are, it's a mutual fight in that kind of situation, and that's how police usually deem the situation. So that it's not a criminal matter. They just, talk it out, tell whoever's can go to a friend's house for the night, come back tomorrow when you're cooled off and try and talk again or whatever, That's how it usually happens anyway. And then over here it says, so 3.5 of Canadians in the provinces with a current or former spouse or common law partner experienced spousal violence in the 5 years preceding 2019. This was down by 7.5% 20 years prior, marking a 54% decrease. So it's been going down every year, basically, but now we're going to see the difference between current spousal relationships and former spousal relationships. This is significant. I want you to see these graphs because this is where the truth is. You're less likely in a current spousal relationship. If you're married right now, you are less likely to experience violence in your marriage. It's not until after you guys get a divorce and there's divorce hearings or whatever. I don't know what happens between divorced people, but apparently there's a lot of violence that happens. So this is current spousal relationships. And as you can see, the line's not that high. It's not even up to 10. But watch what happens, okay? Now you have to understand that these numbers on the side here, the 0 to 30, is per capita. So this is how many people experience this per capita. So you have to think of this in terms of 1,000 people, okay? So in 1,000 people, this is how many would experience this in a current spousal relationship, right? And it's very, very low in our current year. The green, that's our current year. So it's very, very low in the current year, right? So you can see that it's not that many people experience this in current spousal relationships. But watch this. This is insane, y'all. I can't even understand how this is even possible, and nobody even looked at this. Here is the former spousal relationship. That's right. It's all the way nearly to the 30. Do you see that? And remember, we're talking about thousands of people. So this is thousands of people that are experiencing former spousal relationship violence. And even in our current year, it's quite high. It's above 10, right? So above 10,000 people have experienced that kind of former spousal violence. That's insane. And that's not even to say, like, this isn't even broken up between like same-sex couples and heterosexual couples, because if you look at the statistics for same-sex couples versus heterosexual couples, the numbers are even more staggering. 61% of same-sex couples will experience intimate partner violence. Can you believe that? 61%. So here's the breakdown of current and former spousal relationships. And see, 60% decrease for men, and it was a 49% decrease in spousal violence for women. For both current and former relationships, spousal violence decreased for women and men between the years of 1999 and 2019. So it dropped to 4.2%, and that's then broken up between current and former, as you know. So like we'll say 1% of that is still current, and then the rest of the percentage is former. So it's still it's like almost double for former relationships versus current relationships, because when you're in a current marriage, it's more likely that your husband's not going to want to hurt you. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to protect you. He wants to be a loving provider for you and whatnot. So 1.2% were abused by a current or former spouse in the year preceding the survey. In terms of gender, women were significantly more likely than men to experience spousal violence in the past year. So 1.5 versus 0.8%. So this is broken up between current and former. So the 0.8% is the current spouse. 1.5% is former spouse. So like I said, it's much higher in the former for some reason. I don't understand that, but I guess it has something to do with like when you get a divorce and, you know, you guys are arguing over who gets what or whatever's going on, and then there's custody battles and things of this nature. It gets ugly, right? So that's not even including like infidelity and whatever else might have happened during the marriage that could have contributed to this onslaught of violence between you guys. So I give you all the statistics right here. I'm not even hiding any of it. It's pretty staggering if you look at it. The fact that you are less likely in a married relationship to experience violence versus if you are just in an intimate relationship with someone. You're more likely to experience violence in an intimate relationship in a former marriage versus being in an actual marriage. Like, it's significantly lower. Like, the risk is so low. And that's what I was saying. And she's saying it's underreported. It's underreported because women have a tendency of crying wolf, okay? So there's laws to protect men and women, right? So most of the time, like, you have to take these statistics and you have to apply it to, like, okay, so if it's like 44% of former spouses abusing their women, right? Then you have to take into account that maybe there's another 20% not reporting, right? And then there's 1% of married couples reporting. You have to take into consideration that maybe there's another 15% not reporting, right? But that's not the same thing as what they're saying. It's significantly lower for married couples versus unmarried couples. And it's even worse for same-sex couples. Look at this statistics. Look at this. This is ridiculous. I couldn't even believe what I was reading. I was like, wow. I thought it was only like, I don't know, like, I knew it was high, but I didn't know it was this high between like same-sex couples. Like 61%. Wow. And so you have to literally like overlook all these statistics and truths just to come to the conclusion that being married is more dangerous than not being married. How do you figure that when the statistics say it's otherwise? It's actually more risky not being married than to be married. And even on their intimate partner violence LGBTQ communities page, they talk about how common it is. 1 in 8 will experience intimate partner violence. 1 in 8. That's a very high statistic, yo. That's a very high statistic, right? 1 in 8 experiencing violence. That's a pretty high statistic. So I'm just saying, you these people have to be blind if and like literally walking around like in Bird Box. Have you ever seen the movie Bird Box where she has to put on a blindfold? That's the way they're walking around in the world right now, literally. And then she says that I'm getting my information from some guy on X. No, I get my information from the government's websites and from actual statistics because I'm not a dumbass and I know how to go and research. Just like I know how to budget and I know how to take care of the home and ration for us so that we can live relatively rich even though we're very freaking low income. So these people don't know what they're talking about. They have absolutely no sense of reality. They are gone in the brain. Like I said, they're on like power saving mode. They have no mental capacity. So here's the truth. I hope you guys enjoy the truth. Love y'all. I'll catch you in a bit because I'm pretty sure that there'll be more for me to share with you guys from these idiots. So I will show you even more from stupid people who don't know how to research simple topics. All right, so we're done confession. I cried. I felt like I laid everything that was heavy on my chest down. It's been a long time since I've done just that in confession. So being completely washed was very, very nice and cleansing tonight. And also, my best friend's back. My best friend Patricia, she's back from the Lower Mainland. She just showed up tonight and I saw her. I was like, are my eyes deceiving me? And she's like, no. And she started laughing and I gave her a big hug. I was so happy to see her. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, my best friend's back. So I had to tell her everything that's happened since she's been gone. You know, like my dad passing away and one of the parishioners leaving. I didn't yet tell her what I did to cause her to leave. I'll tell her tomorrow. Yeah, I definitely am going to take the blame for it. Because I told her off. She was doing things sinfully and she was preaching wrong. She was preaching a lukewarm, watered down Catholicism. So I told her and I called her out on it and then she left because of that. So not my fault. Well, it is my fault, but not my fault at the same time. Like, but yeah, it was a good night. So I got to see my best friend, and then I got to confess and put everything down at Jesus' feet, and I feel so light and so clean and so holy. Ooh, I can't wait till tomorrow now when I receive. Oh, I feel so much better. You guys don't even know. Confession is the best. I love confession, okay? Every single time though, and it's true for most of us, we're scared to confess, okay? We get like this weird, oh, I can do it next week. No, that's the devil, okay? The devil is lying to you. Don't put off what you could do today until tomorrow, okay? Do it today. Go do it. Trust me when I say that every single time I'm scared to confess, and then once I'm done confessing, I am so happy and so thankful I got it done. I am so thankful because I feel so brand new. You know what I mean? I feel brand new, completely washed, completely brand new, completely. It feels so good to lay everything at Christ's feet and him take it from there, you know? And I found out tonight that one of the things I thought I was doing that was a sin wasn't actually a sin. I was like, so I've been coveting, and then my priest, he's like, Now, dear, when you are coveting, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I look at other people's lives and I see how their lives are easy and they can go and spend as much money as they want on food, and they have like nice clothes, or they know how to make clothes with a sewing machine. I don't even know how to use my sewing machine. I'm thinking, right? And then I'm like, anyway, I look at their lives and I start thinking that I wish that I had some of the stuff that they've had. And then he's like, that's not coveting. I'm like, no? What's coveting? He's like, snatching or grabbing or stealing. That's coveting. He's like, what you're doing is admiring. I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, then that's not a sin. I was like, oh, well, that's good. He's like, confession is such a nice place to have these conversations so you can learn what is real sin and what isn't. And I'm like, yeah, that's good. Because I thought that, like when you're like wishing for something or you're pining after something, that's coveting. And he's like, no, that's Protestant coveting. I'm like, oh, I see. He's like, yeah, real coveting is snatching, stealing, grabbing, taking for yourself. I'm like, oh, I see. I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I was only admiring him. He's like, so keep doing that. Look at other people's lives and see the beauty of Christ in their lives. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, it's not a bad thing. It's good to share in those moments. Those are precious moments. I'm like, yeah. So one of the sins wasn't even a sin because I didn't even commit it. Yay. However, I did do some other sins, and I did confess those. Like I said, I laid it all tonight, and I felt much better for it. And now I feel brand spanking new, whole weights lifted off of me. I feel lighter, and I feel so good, and I can't wait to go back tomorrow and receive cleansed. Yeah. I'm also commentator tomorrow, so I have to remind Patricia that when I see her tomorrow morning. Just before Mass, she'll be showing up before Mass, so I'll tell her I'm commentator, so I have to sit on the other side, but I will come find you after Mass, and she'll say, okay. But yeah, because I'm commentator, I have to be on the other side. Otherwise, I'd be sitting in front of her like usual. But that's okay. And then, I just can't wait, man. Patricia's back. I get to see her all the time again. She goes to Mass every day, so I gotta try to get up there so I can see her. Yeah. I'm gonna try. It's gonna be difficult. We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Maybe I can time it right. You know what I mean? We'll see. Anyway, I gotta go get all dressed now. And then, I have some stuff to do. I'm hoping to get in the shower tonight. I'm gonna force it. Oh, yeah. I got enough energy after seeing Patricia, so I might as well use it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna feel nice and clean all over. Not just my soul, my whole body. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back. Alright, y'all. So My baby decided to do laundry, even though he knew I wanted to have a shower tonight. He forgot. It's okay. So tomorrow when I get home from church, I'm going to have a shower. So I'm forcing myself. I should have enough energy anyway after seeing Patricia at church. So I always get all excited when I get home after seeing her. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't believe she's back. I'm so happy. I missed her so much. She's been gone since October. Anyway, I'm very, very happy she's back. My best friend. I get to hang out with her now. It's going to be fun. Anyway, other than that, I've just been sewing, so I'll show you. So I had to make an extra part for the dress because apparently in the back, Barry Lynn's back is quite big. So I had to make an extra part to sew onto the back end portion. And I'll have to add some of this fabric to the bottom of this fabric after I sew it onto the edge of the dress part. And then it'll be time to measure for the arms and make the sleeves. And then it'll be time for making the collar. And then I add the buttons and I crochet the little wraparound strings. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. Real nice. It's gonna be a nice dress. So yeah, it's almost done. A few more things to do. I've been sewing non-stop today, so same with yesterday, I was sewing non-stop, so it's almost done. Once I'm done, I'll be very happy. And then if I can do a small scale one like this, I'm going to do a big scale one for myself. But the big scale one I'll probably make it in a way where it can button up in the front. So that, yeah. You know? Yeah. It'll just be easier that way because I can't button it up in the back by myself. So. Unless it's only one button and it's at the top in the back. I could do that. A pullover dress with a button in the back. I have dresses like that here. I could do that. Alright, anyway. This is my goodnight video because I'm going to be uploading this video to YouTube now. It's time. So, see y'all in the morning. You'll see me pretty early. 7 o'clock-ish. So, good night. Sleep tight. See y'all tomorrow morning. God bless. Later for now. Good night.